Hey there. So, this is going to be very brief because I am just testing something. So, at about 9:15 this morning, I'm going to be doing a live interview with Carrie Drinkwine. She's one of my healing friends and mentors, and we actually had a very fun uh, just even meeting and happenstance. And so she and I have been chatting about what is it we're going to talk about. And there's so much to talk about. There's so much that's fruitful right now. Like we could just talk about sort of our origin story. We could talk about what she's up to right now. We could talk about what I'm up to right now. But one of the things that I keep coming back to is the growth edge. And this is what I'm even doing right now. So, a couple of things about the growth edge. Basically, we all live in comfort, right? And I'm not saying you're comfortable. I'm not saying life is comfortable. I'm talking about like a biologic comfort. Maybe homeostasis is a more appropriate word to use. And our like historic DNA, our operating system, our unconscious mind, our deep rooted historical patterns do everything they can to keep us in homeostasis, as well as like even our biology, right? So if something's a habit, we're going to crave and need to maintain the habit. And the thing is, we do these physically and emotionally regardless of whether or not they actually serve our best interests. But the giant irony of the whole thing is that our body and our emotions fight to maintain this because this homeostasis feels like our best interest. And risk or change is scary. It's emotionally scary. It's biologically scary. It's just the giant unknown. And maybe you have all heard about how we kind of live as if we're still running from dinosaurs. And that's also a thing the modern world does for us. It triggers our fight or flight. It keeps us in this like emotionally acidic state like all of the time. And that's also another reason like the growth edge triggers something that feels kind of like that. And so it's like, whoa, 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 pull back, get to safety. All of our fear triggers go off. So, this is like a big idea and a simple idea all at the same time. But the bottom line about it is I've been living on my growth edge for years. And the reason is that I grew up in a situation where people were very much not at their growth edge. They were very much in homeostasis, and they were also very much in a kind of a misery. And that homeostasis too, it's like nothing is static in life, right? So one of my teachers once said, everything in nature, and we're part of nature, is either like growing or in decay. So we're either reaching towards thriving or we're evolving towards decay. And you can extrapolate that out emotionally, physically, in relationship, in career, in all parts of your being. And so somewhere along the way, it's like I've never known what I was going to be when I grow up. And somewhere along the way, that has become like my absolute true north, my little thread. It's like I would rather burn up on my edge than sit back and suffer in decay. So it doesn't mean I always make the right choices. It just means that I'm willing to, sometimes coming from trauma, I mean, it's double-sided. It can make you A, kind of crave trauma, so that's one thing, or be willing to burn the house down because if you kind of don't have a thing to begin with, you're willing to take more risks. So I recognize that not everybody has that and not everybody comes from that, but yet these processes are all very similar. So this is really just a teaser. I'm not saying that that's the direction for sure the interview at 9:15 will take, But the reason I picked up the thread of growth edge is because I'm pre-testing right now. I've never done Instagram Live, so I'm just throwing myself out there and checking it out. And I actually have some folks that I've been working with. I mean, they do all their work. I just happen to have some threads that we connected around, and I'm so blown away by what they're up to right now. So like it gives me goosebumps, it brings me to tears. You know who I'm talking about. Happy to give you shout outs, but don't necessarily want to out you either. So they're out there, and I know just how much of their edge they're on. So that's like, well, what can I do right now? How can I continue to be in support and be an example? And so here I am on my new growth edge on a new format. And this is to be continued at 9:15 this morning. And hey, maybe it will become a series. So hopping on Instagram Live, growth edge, doing an interview with a friend. I will invite her on, and actually she'll be interviewing me, and then me also kind of learning about this whole doodad situation here. But we don't come out like fully cooked and perfect, and we never get there. So hey, the messy middle of the process, that's where it's at. All right, stay tuned. Talk to you later. Let's see if I can find the right button. Okay, just says end.